Hey everyone, welcome back to the JMK Garage. If you're not subscribed yet, please consider doing so and checking out other videos on the channel. So anyways, many years ago, back in my early 20s, I bought this 1981 Honda CB750K back there as a box full of parts for 150 bucks. Took that winter there to sort of strip it down, sandblast, paint, chop, cut, weld, and turned it into that there. Which is a complete Frankenstein bike. It's a Honda CB750K frame, tank, part of the frame. Front end is off of a older CB750 Super Sport, same with the front wheel. Back end is a Gixxer, I think it's around a 99, 2000, Gixxer 750, swing arm and wheel, same with the brakes. Front brakes off of a newer Kawasaki ZX6R, I believe it was. Same with the taillight off of 2009 Kawasaki ZX6R. Headlights are just custom made. The bars, the clip-ons I made myself. Seats I did myself as well. Gas tank, it's the original gas tank off an 81 CB750K that I've indented in for legs. And I believe it's a Gixxer fuel tank cap on there. Like I said, complete Frankenstein bike. Rear sets too off of a Gixxer 750 as well. Yeah, completely custom. Did the bike in my early 20s, so it was done sort of half-assed. Nothing was powder coated. It was just painted cheaply in the garage I had at the time. And it's definitely showing its age and showing the poor quality that went into it. So I've had the bike on the road. I've got it on the road 10 years or so after I started it. That was about 5 years ago I got on the road. Only put a few miles on it, just up and down the road, through town and that a few times. But it's never ran quite right. So just ordered some new parts to rebuild the carbs again for the third time. Like I said, I did it back in my early 20s, and the bike sat for 10 years with the old gas and did it again. But it's was never quite right. So again, old gas, and you get that out. Yeah, I got that. Got a new clutch on the wall. It's been sitting there for, again, 5 years or so. New throttle cables. A few other parts for it. So we'll slowly start working on this now that it's off the lift. The Harley Dyna back there, it's working good now. Motor rebuilt, clutch done. Bike's working awesome. Still needs a little bit of work done, motor mounts and that, just to get it dialed in. But yeah, focus on the CB750 here. And maybe focus on getting it running good, and maybe we'll see about this winter stripping it down and properly doing all the paint and powder coating and all that to make it an actual nice bike. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoy the video. I think I may have failed to record all that, but I put some fresh gas in there. It's the Petrocana 94 octane, good stuff. Tried starting it, took a little while. Put my hand over each carburetor just to get the gas sucking up, and it was completely yellow-brown. Old gas been sitting there, so the carbs are gummed up. But the bike does start now. The starter, however, it's definitely needs replacement or rebuild. It seems to draw more amps than it should, and as you use it more, it starts howling and not working. So I think it's running on all four now. First, it was just the back two, then the front one here. But the second one in wasn't firing, wasn't getting gas. But I think it's good now. That one there still is not very hot. That one there is getting warmer now. So I think this one here probably isn't getting gas all the way yet. Let's give it another shot. And there's a starter. Gas coming out of it now. Lunchtime, buddy? Okay. Get some carb cleaner in there just to clear out the gunk out of the throttle bodies. Obviously it's not going to clean nothing out of the jets or the float bowls, but it is a start. Alright, so the bike sort of runs. Well, it does run, but needs work. As I mentioned, parts come in for the carb rebuild, and the carb boots should be here Monday. That will take care of the fueling. The ignition, it already has new plugs in that in, so it should be good. New clutches over there, we'll get that in, as well as some new oil. And starter, I'll need to look into ordering a new starter or starter rebuild kit. Apart from that, need to look at the front end. The forks aren't doing their job properly. Not a whole lot of travel there, so something's up. And otherwise, should be about it. So another week or so, and hopefully have this bike running decently. And then over the winter, possibly, if I find the motivation, strip it down and make it look good. Hey guys, a little update here on the CB750 build that I pulled out from back there, sitting there for a few years. So, since the last little clip there, I've done a little bit of work to the bike. It's been a few weeks, but I've taken the carbs off and gone through and completely cleaned them out. They were absolutely disgusting inside from fuel that was at least 5 years old, but I'm sure that some of it was actually from back when I built the bike and originally rebuilt these carbs 15 years ago. So they're gone through, they're cleaned up. I've put the old jets back in just for now. It does have larger jets than stock, and I believe I put those on because of the pods, but I don't believe they're quite large enough, both the main and the primary. Got a carb rebuild kit there, and my mistake, I only ordered one thinking it was the whole kit. I ordered a few sets off Amazon for a good price, but you get what you pay for, and they weren't the right ones. So I ordered just one off Fortnite, and it turns out it only comes with a single one. So I need to order 3 more, or I did order 3 more, and I should have them in a couple weeks. But I need these because I believe that's the emulsion tube. I had to drill 2 of those out from the carbs. So I'm down 2. The rest are all pretty gunky. I need new gaskets and all that. So waiting on those to come in to put them in there before I put those back in the bike. I have new throttle cables back there on the wall from 5 years ago. Right there. Motion Pros. Down here, the clutch has been exposed, drained out, and new plates are over there on the bench, soaking for the last few weeks actually. There's a clutch heavy duty spring kit. New Honda oil. Again, that's been drained out for the past couple weeks. Just the other day, I finally got the oil filter cover taken off there. That there, I had to take a die grinder or cut-off wheel here and cut that old one off. Just wouldn't budge. Got the new one there, new oil filter. I have a new rebuild kit for the petcock down there. It leaks slightly, so I like to make sure it positively shuts off the fuel so it's not constantly putting fuel to the carbs. Again, there's the EBC clutch discs soaking in some proper motorcycle oil. That there's a new battery, just a lead acid. I did have the anti-gravity battery in that, as I mentioned, but it's long gone. That there I had to clean up because the cutoff wheel did some damage. So it looks good now, just needs to be cleaned. So we'll get oil filter put back on, put in the new clutch discs, get the cover back on. I had to make my own gasket here. Turned out okay. Not perfect, but okay. And I did that because I couldn't find just the gasket without buying a whole engine rebuild kit. And I didn't need that right now. Maybe someday I will, but I didn't want to buy it just to use this gasket and have the other gaskets go missing in the garage somewhere over time. So that will go on there for now. Once we get the clutch discs in, put the oil in, and in a week or so we'll get the carbs put on, put them on the bike, get the new battery on, and exhaust back on. I'd like to change out that chain. It's just a cheap chain from Princess Auto, I believe, that I put on there initially years ago to get it moving. So I'd like to get a proper 530 series chain on there. Underneath here, let's see if we can get that off just to show it to you. Because of the wider tire on the back there, many years ago I made up this sprocket here. It was the stock sprocket. I used my dad's lathe to cut out the center and then put in a piece of pipe and weld it out so it's spaced out approximately 10 mils, I believe. I've looked around and I found, I think, one, but it's hard to find one for the dual overhead cam Honda motors. Most of them are the single overhead, and the splines are slightly different, I believe. So that's still a good sprocket, but once it does wear out, I'll have to get a replacement or make a replacement. And I remember trying to make that many years ago, and it's hardened steel, so trying to get that cut in the lathe, it's very challenging. So wait for those parts to come in for the carbs, put it back together, and keep at her. Alright, it's been a few weeks now since I started on this project again, so I'm not sure exactly where I left off. However, the carbs are off, and in the process of being rebuilt, the clutch has been replaced, as well as the springs with some heavier duty springs. Got some new boots on there, nice fresh ones, not cracked like the old ones. Over here is the petcock. I have all the parts there to rebuild it. It's all been stripped down and cleaned up. New battery as well there, and it's fully charged now. There's the old clutch springs. So what's left? Clutch cables will go on too while we're doing the carburetor. They are hanging on the shelf there. Carbs are over here. I finally got in the new carb rebuild kits, all 4 of them now. So we'll get those in. I'll put the jets back in that I had in before. They're cleaned up now, but I believe it's 75 and 110, which is larger than stock, although I'm not sure it's quite large enough for the pods. But I don't feel like waiting more time to get those on. So for now, we'll get them put in like that and see how it runs. Again, it wasn't running terrible when I had it running last 5 years ago, but it wasn't running great. And part of that was one of the needle jets here, or the air idle screws, was jammed in there. And the boots here, as you can see, were all cracked. So they weren't sealing too well, so it was running too lean because of those issues. New oil filters on there as well. Had to hack apart this one here. That's the oil filter bolt. So new one of those on there, new filter, new oil. So we'll get those carburetors put on. Cables, they are synced on the bench, but obviously that's not the proper way to do it, or the full way of doing it, so it should get it running okay. I do have up on the shelf there a 4-cylinder carb sync tool, although it's not the best, so may use it, may try to invest in something better, but get some nipples on those and some hoses hooked up once the carburetors are on to get it all synced up. Again, new battery has to go down there, and the exhaust, it's over there. So we'll get that put on, and hopefully by this weekend get it running. Weather's not terrible now. It's a high of 9 degrees today outside, and the snow is finally gone. All the roads are a little salty. But still be nice to get this thing out and test run before we either park it away again or strip it down and try to do some proper paint work on it over the winter. All right, so having worked on many bikes over my past several years working on bikes, I can now confidently say I understand why so many people ride and fix Harleys, such as my Dyna back there. That bike, complete engine rebuild, it's like 8 hours. This here, I probably have more than that time into the carburetors alone, and that's not even getting them synced up on the bike running. Bench synced, but again, we're not even to the point of firing the bike up yet, or we are now. So carbs are on, fuel tank has been cleaned out, petcock rebuild, carbs got the jets back in that were in there before, 110 mains and the 75 idle jets. Otherwise, all new parts. I kept the cheap pod filters on for now. New oil filter. Cables I did not replace. Turns out those ones there weren't stiff. It was just the carburetors themselves that weren't rotating as they should. So I've kept those cables on there for now. Keep the other ones over there until I redo the bike. So gas is in it. Fuel is coming out of all 4 carburetors at the bottom now when I open up the bowls. So I think the bike is ready to fire up. Let's give it a try. All right, choke on, and new battery as well. The battery, turns out, it does not fit in the battery box I built there many years ago. It must have been a smaller battery. So I'll need to build a new one to fit that battery, or just replace that for a anti-gravity lithium-ion battery to hide in the tail somewhere. But for now, it's just sitting there on top of the motor, not held on by any means, so it shouldn't be ridden the way it is. So key on, choke on. Not sure if that's neutral or not. There's neutral. New clutch in there as well. Forgot the exhaust. But I fired up right away. That's impressive. That's pretty amazing, but my ears are ringing. One more time, see if it fires up, and then get the exhaust put on. Run, choke is off, clutch in. Ears. Key off. That's awesome. Get the exhaust on and try to get it off and leave for a test ride. still going to be very loud as it was before, but shouldn't go deaf within 5 seconds. So choke on, run, key on. Wow. Choke off. That feel back on. Idle isn't quite perfect right there. Not seen any signs of leaks. No signs of any leaks there, but the idle seems to be a little wonky. The issue is getting to these air idle screws is a little challenging. Even that little stubby there is too long. Right now the air idle screws are out 1.5 turns across the board. Figured that was a good start, but maybe not. Alright, so I guess it's time to take the bike off the lift here, push it out, take it for a little test drive, and then put the dyno back on the bench here to redo the head gaskets. Well, go figure, it's not running quite right again. Cylinder number 2, it's not sparking or not getting fuel, so have to dig into it again, check out the spark plug wires, see if maybe one of the jets got clogged up in there. But anyways, this wraps this video up. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, and comment below if you want to see this bike brought back to life again. See you later, guys. Alright, before we cut this video short, just want to share with you that it is actually running good now. After pulling my hand over the carburetors to clear out any crap that was plugging up the jets. So, running good.